President Trump unveiled his tax plan this week to overhaul the tax code. So how will it affect all of us? Joining us now to break down the numbers is Karl Eggerss, President and CEO of Eggerss Capital Management. Now, Mr. Eggerss, the president wants to lower the personal tax rate for the highest income earners, but he also wants to raise it on the lowest income earners from 10% up to 12%. I mean, will they get any kind of break?
Yeah, at first glance, it looks like it's helping the rich and hurting the poor. In actuality, they are increasing what's called the standard deduction. So a lot of people are going to find that their taxes are much easier to calculate. There's going to be 3 brackets. It also depends on how many kids you have, because they're going to take away potentially exemptions. Right now, if you have more kids, you get more deductions. That may be taken away, so it really depends on your income and obviously how many kids you have. Overall, for individuals, to me, this whole plan is going to benefit corporations more than individuals. That still can help individuals because obviously corporations having more money could trickle down into paychecks, more jobs.
Let's talk more about how it's going to affect families. I know he's talking about increasing the size of the child tax credit up to $1,000. I mean, will that help families?
It will help families, especially on the lower income side. And this was really his daughter's baby, his child. So she's really pushing for this, and that it is getting in there. I think the most encouraging thing right now is that we are seeing some compromise here. There's a lot of things that the Republicans wanted, and they're having to give some, and there's a lot of things the Democrats wanted, and they're able to give and take as well. So I think overall, this plan has a high likelihood of going through. There's a general framework right now. It's going to be tweaked and modified. One thing you mentioned was the high income earners. There may be a 4th bracket for the uber rich to pay even more. So again, that's something the Democrats would want, and the Republicans have said, let's wait and see. So there's still some negotiating to take place. I think there's a high likelihood that this will happen. Probably the biggest thing too is foreign money from corporations will be able to be brought back into the United States. Apple keeps a lot of money overseas. If that's brought into the United States, they can spend a lot of it here in our country, which is more jobs and potentially more income for most of the viewers.
It seems like a lot of this proposal is for businesses, targets businesses.
It really is, and again, the idea being, is this going to trickle down to the viewers watching this at home? And the idea is that it would. One of my concerns is the Republicans have said, how do we pay for this? They're saying we're going to pay for it through future growth. So they haven't earmarked money to say, we're going to pay for it this way. They're saying with all the growth we're going to get, eventually it will pay for itself through economic growth. Most of the studies I've seen have seen a slight bump in economic growth in the next few months if this was to go through. One other key thing is it going to happen in 2017 or 18? It looks like it might happen in 2018. Now, if they do that, they could make some of these things retroactive to 2017, meaning that if you do your taxes in 2018, you can still apply for some of these deductions and some of these credits, like you mentioned, the child earned income credit, and that will go back to 2017. So that's another thing on the table right now, and we'll see how that plays out.
All right. Well, we'll have you back when they finalize this
Yes,
a little
ma'am.
bit more. Mr. Eggerss, thanks so much for joining us.